Here we are, week 155. I'm just going to feed the fish quick before I do anything, just so they don't keep sitting there expecting food. Oof. Right. So, hello guys. Right, so week 155. So what have I done? I have just drilled a hole in this saltwater bin because I'm slowly rigging the room up for my auto water changes. So my proof of concept has proved conceptually right. So yes, that's working fine. So I've got that Master Flex dosing pump down there, in and out seem to be equal, so I'm not running into any problems. So I just wanted to, you can't see that, but just, I put a picture there, right? So I just wanted to put a kind of solid bulkhead, and I've dropped a RO line which has got a glass stirrer zip tied to the end of it just to weight it down so it hits the bottom of the tank, about an inch off the bottom. And then eventually I will put the pump up on a shelf out of the way, and then I will fix all the RO lines in place, because at the moment they're just kind of strewn haphazardly around the fish room, really. So I've got various load of 90-degree bends, straight connectors. I'm waiting for some clips, some 6mm clips for the RO. And yeah, when that all arrives, then hopefully I can finalise where they're all going to go. So yeah, so that's one of the things I've done. I bought 40 kilos of salts this week, so I've mixed up another 1,000 litres outside in the IBC. Natrium chloride dosing seems to be going well. Phosphates are sort of sitting between 0.12, 0.14. I'm looking over there because I write them on the board. So that's the range for the last week, 0.12 to 0.14. Yeah, so that's good. I have also sent off an ICP test this morning, because I've been dosing atlantium for probably 4 weeks, I think now. 3 or 4 weeks anyway. So that should be sufficient time that if it is not all being taken out by the filter fleece or the skimmer, there may be some residual natrium chloride in the tank. So I just want to check, see whether anything comes up on an ICP or not. Hopefully it won't. If it does, obviously I'll have to make some changes. What else am I doing? I have bought some John Guest push RO fittings that will screw onto the DOS dose, because I'm going to change the lines out. So I dose food, I dose phyto and I dose copepods. Phyto's fine, but the lines I use are I think they're the Red Sea silicon lines, and they just feel slightly sticky. I mean, I replace the lines probably every 3 months anyway, because they just bind up, the food gets stuck. So I'm thinking, because they feel sticky to touch, whether an RO line would be better. So I'm going to fit the John Guest push fits to the DOS and then run the lines in RO, and then I'll just see whether they remain clear for a bit longer. So that's something else. If they turn up this week, I'll probably do. I think that's it really. No news on the sump. I haven't decided size, or I mean, I need to bought. I'm going to buy. It's a pallet crate basically, and they come in various sizes, all quite large. But I sat there and just nearly clicked buy, and then I suddenly went, it's not going to fit through my door. So that would have been a classic. So I've got a door behind me which is bigger, but obviously there's not lots of room to get something large, and then it's still going to have to fit down the hole in the floor there. So I need to measure it up and double check to make sure that if I buy it, I'm going to actually be able to get it where I want it. other than that, I'm going to have to buy 2 smaller ones and then join them together with bulkheads. Not really what I want to do, to be honest. So we'll have to see how that works out, but I'm not really worried about that. I've got another vacation in, I think it's 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. So all I want to do really before I go on that one is get the auto water change kind of finalised. Yes, that's it. Lights have been on and off, so that's all I want really. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I mean, outside of the fish room, one thing that I did watch was a video on, what's the one? Is it Reefer Palooza that's just taken place in Florida? Bizarrely, I was going to go to that, and then obviously my Sulawesi dive holiday took precedent, and then I ended up not going to Sulawesi. So I sat there watching videos of it, thinking, should have just gone, shouldn't I? But anyway, so the Trident NP, which I think I spoke about briefly the last week and the week before, it interests me because I am dosing that in chloride, and I thought it would be nice to keep a close eye on the phosphate. But I suppose in my head I thought, well, that is not new technology now, is it? The Trident's been out for what, 3-4 years. It's exactly the same case, exactly the same technology. It's going to be the same reader. So in my head, the only thing they've changed is the software and the reagent to read phosphates and nitrates. You don't need, I mean, unless you're doing something specific, like you're trying to bring them down or bring them up, no one tests their phosphates and nitrates daily, do they? But it looks like they're going to make you do a daily test, and then they're going to obviously make you buy the reagents. But the thing that I was like, oh, is they're going to say, they said it's the same price point as the Trident. And I was like, well, why is it? Why is it the same price? It's just doing less, and you already have the technology. The case is the same, the bottles are the same, the pump's the same, dosing it's the same as everything. You've not made anything new. It tests less than the one that I've already got. So it's less amount of tests, less number of tests per period of time, and yet they think it's going to cost the same money. So I was just like, so I don't know. I don't know about that. I suppose in my head I thought it'd be a couple of £100 cheaper, but if they're going to tell me it's £775 to test phosphate and nitrate once a day, I'll just stick with a Hannah checker, I think. And then if maybe in a year and a half's time I'll pick up a second-hand one. Also, I need to wait for ABC Reagents to do their reagents for it as well. So I won't be rushing out to buy it, I think. Shame really, because if it was like 500-600 quid, probably 5, to be honest. 575. There you go. That's what I would have liked to pay for it. Anyway, so yeah, so that's I've watched a lot of YouTube this week. I think maybe I've had more time on there. I suppose mentally I was not supposed to be here, so I've been a bit lazy this week. So yeah, I've watched some of Salem stuff. I don't know if any of you are interested in what he does with his kind of bionic sort of talks that he gives. They're quite interesting. I watched Parker's Reef on One Armed Reaper. If you're in the UK, if you're not familiar with him, you should go and have a look at that. Parker's Reef is Australian. It's a bit bizarre, but the One Armed Reaper is in the UK. It's in Yorkshire. Yeah, amazing system. Puts a lot of time and effort. I like to see other people obsessed. so I know I'm not alone. There's other people out there. It's good. Yeah, but yeah. So this week, yeah, it's been pretty quiet, normal week really. Yeah, so all I want to do, because I'm going away again in I think 5 weeks, is get the auto water change set up. Yeah, and that's it really. So everything else is just ticking along. I'm still easing back on the sodium chloride because my pH is setting in quite nicely now. So the lows are about 8.12, I think, and the high is about 8.32. That's a sort of swing. So yeah, all looks happy. Plans are still good. This is think I might have dodged a bullet there, just lost the one. Yeah, so it's 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 3 years. That would be impressive. That was 3 weeks. Yeah, so 3 years. I think it's this week, actually. Is it the 29th today? I think it is. Yeah, so 3 years this week was when this tank got its first filling of, I think, I filled it with RO first. Yeah, I think it had its first sort of full 3,000 litres of salt water in it 3 years ago, completely empty, bleached white rock. I don't know if you remember, but this tank started 100% sterile, all dead rock, no sand, obviously. Yes, I definitely think it takes longer to do it like that, but touch wood, I didn't really have any problems. Everyone went it would be a nightmare, but I didn't get anything horrendous. I mean, obviously the rocks go kind of greeny, which you can see if you look back in the videos. But no, I didn't have any like outbreaks of dinos or cyano or green hair algae, or I just didn't have any ugly stage. I just sort of went white to green to sort of coralline. Yeah, I don't ever remember coming out and going, "Oh, this tank looks like it's just horrible." Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong, I could probably do the same again and have like all the nightmares under the sun, but that's, you know, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you kind of weave your way through that narrow path, and other times you just stray off and get into something nasty. But yes, it's been good. So I didn't really set any goals, to be honest, other than, you know, I had a wish list of fish, which I've got, and then I just slowly wanted to have big coral colonies, which, you know, you, you can't really make that happen any quicker than they want to grow. I'll tell you what else I did, is I removed my, what's that, Poslopora colony. Another one that's like the second you touch it, it just breaks off. So what happened is one of the tangs smashed into it, broke a big chunk off, which fell on the floor, which I think there's still, and there was still a bit in there actually. And then the exposed bit, it was getting algae growing in it, and then the tangs were trying to go in and get in the algae, and they just kept smashing more of it, more of it, and more of it. So every time I come in, there's like lumps of it all over the tank. It spreads anyway, that coral, and I just went, no. So I ripped it out. So it's just a big sort of stubby skeleton sitting there now. But to be fair, I could probably put something nicer there, to be honest. It was all right, but there's nothing special on it. It just breaks off and goes all around the tank, so it's a bit of a pain, really. What I should have done is taken it out and offered it to someone, or taken it to a frag shop, but I took it out and launched it into the sink, and then I chucked it in the bin. But there's still a little bit on the floor I can see actually. So maybe I'll leave that to survive. But yeah, but other than that, the sulking gonny down the other end of the tank, which is kind of large like that, is slowly sort of coming out. My Duncan is also coming out now, so he's sulked for months and months. So it looks like something's going in the right direction. Yes, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else really. Otherwise, I'm just going to be rabbiting on about rubbish. So I will wrap it up. Normally at this stage, something pops in my head that I've forgotten, but I can't think of anything. No, right. No, can't think of anything. So yeah, that's it, guys. So I will see you next week in the next one.